Wonderful. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. You have myself, Alex Ward, broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, and Veronique of AllState Insurance from the Edmonton South Common location or branch. You are taking part in our bi-weekly strategic partner education moment series, and this week, like I mentioned, we have AllState Insurance educating us on the importance of home insurance and auto insurance, but more specifically towards the home insurance aspect. And Veronique is going to kind of mention some trends she's seeing, some problem areas, what's important, what stage she should be brought into the conversation, so that when you are buying a home or you are assisting one of your clients buying a home, you can make it as smooth and painless as possible. So I'm going to pass it on over to Veronique now, who is going to educate us. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Da, da, da. Bear with me a second. There it is. Now, perfect. I think you guys can all see that. So hi, everybody. My name is Veronique, and I work for AllState Insurance in the South Edmonton Common branch. Obviously working from home because we all know we got to be safe. So this week I'm here to talk to you about home insurance specifically, and kind of what's happening on the market, what are some great features and benefits of getting a quote or referring your partners and your clients to AllState, and giving you just a little bit more information. So this presentation is home insurance, AllState, and the current market. Let's make this fun, shall we? Before we really start, I'll tell you a little bit about me. So my name is Veronique. I'm originally from New Brunswick, and I am bilingual, so I can help clients in both French and English. I've been here for about 12 years, and yeah, loving Alberta, and things are really going good. So the presentation today is going to cover a couple different topics. First thing, we're going to talk about home insurance basics, just so everybody kind of gets a basic understanding of what goes around in home insurance. The second thing we're going to talk about is why you refer to AllState, things that can affect your premium, home insurance features and benefits, condo insurance features and benefits, because you can be selling a condo and a home. They are slightly different, so we want to make sure that you have knowledge on both. And enhanced water coverage, which is so important here in Alberta, and catastrophic event, which is probably the thing that affects rates the most in Alberta at the moment. So basic elements of home insurance. This is a great little diagram to give everybody a good understanding of all the different components that go into home insurance. So your roof, at the top would be your liability coverage. So anything that any damage that would happen because of your neglect or anywhere you go in the world, we want to make sure that you are covered for your liability. So if your actions cause damage or pain and suffering to somebody, then you have coverage under a home insurance policy. There's two different ways that a home insurance can be evaluated. So you can have actual cash value for your home or replacement costs for your home. So what your home is worth on the market, just as it stands, or if your insurance company is going to insure to full value to rebuild. And then there's different parts of coverages. So coverage A is your dwelling, your home. How much would it cost to rebuild your house if it was to burn down to the ground right exactly where it stands? So we ask you a lot of questions to figure out what that amount should be. So that's everything from your foundation, flooring, windows, doors. Coverage B, which is on the outside, is your detached private structures. Name pretty much explains itself. Anything that is not attached to your home, that is on your property, that ends up being damaged or lost in a insured peril. Coverage C, we're going to go to your home contents. The funniest way to say this is if you take your house, flip it upside down and shake it, everything that falls out of it is going to be your content coverage. So that's a separate part of your home insurance. And then that could include everything from TVs, all your clothing, your furniture, your appliances, I mean, again, anything that you own. And additional living expenses will be the final part. if your house was to burn down and you had to go rent and live somewhere else for 6 months or a year, you are going to have those extra expenses. Plus, you'll still maybe have to pay your mortgage. You'll still have a lot of uh, your expenses to pay. So additional living expenses is going to cover all those additional costs that you wouldn't or shouldn't have to pay if the loss didn't happen. So there's a lot of parts to cover when it comes to home insurance. And then in the tree, you can see we have endorsements. So different add-on coverages that after a conversation between me and you, we can figure out which ones will best apply to you and which ones would you benefit more from, depending on your lifestyle and depending on the area and maybe what's happened in the past. And at the bottom here, typical home insurance policy does not cover, which is really important, property taxes, condo fees, mortgage payments, and your land. So when we're talking about the value of your home, we're really only talking about the structure itself. So don't be afraid if the value seems to be low. It's because we're not taking your land into consideration. It's just the structure. So I hope this little diagram is helpful to kind of have an idea of what we'll be talking about later. So why AllState? I'm glad you asked. That's why I'm here. A great benefit of AllState is that we are all local agents. You can build a relationship with us. You know, normally we could have in-person service. That's a little bit limited at the moment, but we're always here to help. We have a great team of people in all our offices, and anybody can help you. We are and we consider ourselves a team of trusted advisors. We're not here to tell you exactly what to do. We're here to advise you and to ask a lot of questions and see what would be the best course of action in your specific situation. We have our own in-house service team. So if you need any type of servicing done after you initially write the policy, of course your agent can always help you, but we do have specific service agents to take care of if you need to do maybe an address change or an update on your policy. Maybe you got a security alarm system. All these things our service agents can do for you, and anything that comes to billing as well. A beautiful thing with us is even though we are located in Edmonton, South Common, and working from home, we can insure homes all over Alberta. So you're not limited to just this area or feel like if we're too far away, it doesn't make any difference. We're fully capable of helping you no matter where you are. And we can help as a company assist your clients in many different languages. I particularly speak French and English, but in my office, we have a Korean agent, we have Russian agents, Indian, so they speak Punjabi and Hindi. So there's a lot of different options if your customers feel more comfortable speaking in their native tongue, or if it's easier for them to understand, we can definitely accommodate them for that. So now things that affect your premium. Really important, big question all the time. Why is my rate going up all the time? Why is this house more expensive than that house? What's the deal? So here's a little bit of a breakdown of things that insurance company consider when they're talking about your premium. So the house itself, the type of construction, is it a single family home, a townhome, a duplex, a rental property, the construction materials that were used, brick, cement, is the outside vinyl siding or stucco, you know, the exterior, all that matters, the age and the size and the location, the type of roofing, the type of heating, plumbing, electrical systems, and the replacement value. So based on that information, we'll get a rebuild value for your home, and that will dictate the price. Fire protection, so how far is your home from the fire station or from a fire hydrant, and if that fire station has a tanker shuttle service, if you don't have a fire hydrant nearby. So those are things that can really, really affect premium. So when you're looking for a home, know that if there is no fire station close by and no fire hydrant, you will be paying a premium, and it might be a little bit harder to insure. uh, loss experience. So if you've had any claims, or what is the frequency of claim in that specific area. I know people say sometimes, oh, it has nothing to do with me, I've never had a claim, but in insurance, it's all about statistics. So if that area has a high crime rate, for example, or high theft rate, then you will be paying more on your insurance because the likelihood of it happening is possibly a little higher. And then the coverage that you choose. So the type of policy that you end up choosing with any different company, optional coverages that you end up deciding to purchase, how high or low your deductibles are going to be will also affect your premium and your discount eligibility. So with Allstate, your insurance score, which is a financial stability score, is kind of what dictates your overall premium. So if you're fairly financially stable, you will get much higher discounts on your premium. It could make a difference of sometimes $1,000 a year. So we can talk about that a little bit later. So here are some advantages and benefits of home insurance with Allstate. We call it the Allstate way. So we do have 3 different types of home insurance packages. We have our basic, our elite, and our VIP. Now, Allstate doesn't do mediocre, so we only offer VIP. So don't even think about getting anything less than our VIP package, which is the most comprehensive one that we can offer for you. It's a broad form package, which means that it's only limited by the exclusions. So normally an insurance policy would tell you, oh, these 10 things are covered. And you'd be like, oh, great, I have 10 things covered. And everything else that is not named is not a covered loss. With a broad form policy, we tell you, hey, these 10 things are not covered. But if you can imagine the rest, it's all covered. So you get a much more broad range of coverages, and it's a lot more comprehensive. You have also home replacement cost guarantee, which is really important. It means that if Allstate says that your home should cost $350,000 to rebuild in case of a loss, sometimes things happen, there's delays, materials and labor can end up costing more. If it costs more than $350,000, it's not going to come out of your pocket. Allstate is going to cover that for you. So you don't have to worry. You're only going to be paying a premium for your initial value. The rest is all on us. We offer enhanced water coverage damage, and that is applicable and subject to change per house for the amount that you'll be covered. We have a claim-free yearly bonus check. So every year that you're claim-free on home insurance, Allstate is going to send you a check for $50 in the mail. I don't know any other company is going to send you a check every year just for not having a claim. And then we have lower deductibles to start. Most companies will offer a $2,500 deductible for water, theft, fire. With Allstate, we start at $1,000, and you do end up saving a lot of money still with lower deductibles. We have a feature called disappearing deductible, which every year that you're claim-free, your $1,000 deductible is going to go down by 100. So you're going to get a check in the mail for $50 every year, and every year you're going to pay less in deductibles if you have a claim. We also offer building ordinance and bylaw coverage, which is really, really important. Not a lot of people know about this, but when homes are built, there's certain bylaws that are in place, and as years go, sometimes these change. If your house ends up, again, burning down, you may end up having to accommodate for new bylaws that weren't in place when you built the home. Those amounts come out of your pocket as a homeowner. So we want to make sure that you are covered in the event that we have to move your house 6 feet to the left now because you're too close to the neighbor's house. That's a pretty big expense, and the coverage for it is usually very inexpensive in comparison to how much it's going to be covered. So we offer everybody building ordinance coverage just to make sure that you're not stuck with a gap of coverage on your new purchase. We offer discounts if both owners are retired, which is really great. We have claim forgiveness and a group discount for teachers. So if you know anybody who's an educator who works in the teaching field, Allstate is a really great place for them to get home insurance because they do get some really great discounts. Now to condo insurance. A lot of the same discounts apply, but the coverage overall is different since we don't have a structure to insure. So what are we insuring if there is, not necessarily the house and the building? Most importantly is your loss assessment coverages. When you live in a condo or when you buy a condo, you're now living with a bunch of other people, and there's a lot more risk or a lot more things that can happen in a way with people coming in and out of the unit. So if somebody gets injured on common condo property, that could be a pretty big expense. The condo board can come to every single owner and say, we have a $50,000 deductible. I want everybody to pay a portion of that. So that could be $5,000 per person. If you don't have that money in your pocket at the moment, then you can claim through insurance up to $50,000 for that assessment that the condo board wants you to pay. Same for physical damage. If there's a big hailstorm and it damages your condo building or some of the common areas, the condo board can also come to each condo owner and ask them to pay a portion of the deductible so they can cover the loss. Up to the physical limit of your home and of your condo insurance or your content coverage is how much you'll have for your physical damage. Then unit contingency. This is unit specific. So if your unit causes damage to, let's say you have sewer backup and then it leaks and it damages 2 units below you, this is your unit's fault, basically. So the condo board can come to your specific unit and ask you to pay the entire deductible yourself so they can cover the loss. That could be now by law up to $50,000. So on your AllState condo policy, which is a VIP policy, you automatically get that up to $50,000 limit. And those rules changed last January, I believe, that it went up to automatic $50,000. Additions and alterations, really important as well. When you buy a condo, there's usually what they call a standard unit definition. So the basic model of what they would have to rebuild, it could cover basic flooring. So maybe it's linoleum instead of the hardwood or the better flooring that you've put in. If you've done some updates to the countertops or the cabinets, all these things, they're not obligated to rebuild for you. So we want to make sure that you have your additions and alterations covered as well. You are also qualified for enhanced water coverage as well. We have a yearly refund check of $25 on condo policies. You have disappearing deductibles, claim forgiveness, and again, the group discount for teachers. This is one of the most important parts for AllState when it comes to their water coverage. We're so proud of this coverage because it is so comprehensive. So I'm just going to read off what is here first. So the weather-related incidents have increased exponentially over the last decades. Storms are more intense and frequent than ever. AllState continues to be an industry leader in providing one of the best enhanced water protection package available. Overland water coverage, the most comprehensive coverage in the industry, includes seepage through foundation, raising groundwater, and sewer backup. So in that little poster thing at the bottom, this is what's covered through enhanced water damage. So damage caused by escape of water from sewer, drain, sump pump, or septic tank, water damage resulting from a malfunctioning sump pump, and sewer backups due to water overflow from a body of fresh water. Those coverages are pretty standard. Most insurance companies should offer you something similar, either with the basic coverage, or the coverage that they offer for water. With AllState, you have all these other new features as well, which is really, really interesting. You see unusual and rapid accumulation of rain that enters your home through basement, windows, a crack in your basement floor or wall, and through your garage door. So again, if there's a giant storm, which happens quite often here, you don't have to worry. These things are covered through AllState. Flood from a body of fresh water, such a river, stream, or lake. Unusual and rapid accumulation of ground or surface water, which causes water to enter your home. A fancy way to say flooding, or flash flooding or instant flooding if there's a big storm. And expenses incurred by you for the installation of a certified backflow valve or sump pump. This is specifically after a loss, and we will pay an additional $1,000 to you for the installation of these devices, because we want to try to prevent it from happening again. So if you don't have a backflow valve, you get a sewer backup, we'll fix it. We'll give you an extra $1,000 so that you can have one installed. And damage to your service lines, so the lines from the street to your home that are a direct result of service line failure. Okay, so that will be covered as well. Now, when it comes to risk and why insurance is going up, there's obviously a lot of different factors like we talked about, the location of your home, the rate of crime, claim frequency, all that. And then your personal record as well will affect the price and the discounts that you get. But overall, why do we pay insurance? It's so that the loss of the few can be covered by the premium of many. So make sure that we have enough money in our pool to pay out catastrophic events, because they tend to happen a lot in Alberta. So in recent years, Alberta has been hit with record level of catastrophic loss due to mostly weather-related events. The last 12 most expensive catastrophic events in Canada, 8 of them happened in Alberta. So just to kind of put that into frame, when people move from different provinces, they're always asking, why is it so expensive? Well, a lot happens here in a way. So that's a big reason. Alberta, the portion of all catastrophic losses in Canada has been 3 to 5 times more than its share of the national population. So again, it's not looking like it's going to change every year. We're going to see kind of the same trend happening with catastrophic events in different parts of the province, and home insurance just has to be there to cover the losses, and we have to collect premium for that. We don't want this to be us. I just like this picture. I think it's, you know, with all the rain we've been having, not so fun. And then some more information on catastrophic events here. So before 2016, the 2013 year was the record breaker for catastrophic losses. That year, insurers paid out more than $3.2 billion, including $1.6 as a result of flood in southern Alberta. So $3.2 in all of Canada, $1.6 just Alberta. And around $1 billion as a result of summer storms flooding in Toronto. So these catastrophic events cost a lot of money, and in our lifetime, we'll never pay enough premium to cover a loss that would cover our home. So that's why insurance is going up. Oops, there we go. In 2017, catastrophic losses accounted for approximately $1.2 billion. This was a result of many small losses right across the country. So if you're talking about just non-catastrophic, it's already just $1.2 billion, and then put in everything else that happens in our province, you get a much higher amount. And the highest ever loss for a single year was $5 billion, and that's Canada-wide in 2016. Of the $5 billion, $3.7 billion was the result of the Fort McMurray fires in Alberta, which forced the evacuation of nearly 90,000 people. The fire destroyed and damaged 2,500 homes, buildings, and thousands of vehicles, resulted in about 60,000 claims. So you can't recover from that easily. Just another reason why having proper coverage for things like that is important. And just a little bit of information on some of the most recent hail damage in Calgary and how AllState was able to mitigate and help with that. So we had roughly 1,700 auto claims and 1,700 home claims, and AllState was able to do a drive-by appraisal. So we would go drive through the neighborhoods. If your car was a total write-off, we would hand you a check on the spot to make it easier and to not have such a backlog, because when these major events happen, everybody's calling the lines at once. So to be able to diversify and to help people in different ways is what AllState is all about. And on average, there's 15 tornadoes or major weather events that happen in Alberta every year. So a lot of opportunity for damage. And then some of AllState's strategic partnerships. When you buy a home, always really important to think about your security alarm system. we have a partnership with Liberty Security, fantastic Canadian company. They offer a lot of one-of-a-kind products, especially when it comes to water coverage. So they have a minimum of 5 water detection sensors that they can put in your home, and they have something called a water entry shutoff valve. Which if one of the sensors senses water, it'll automatically, the hand will automatically shut off the water to your home, so to prevent any further damage. It's a really great way to mitigate your damage, and you get a discount with AllState for having a Liberty security system. So it pays for part of itself that way. If there's any type of home that is uninsurable through AllState, so if it's a heritage home or something older, or maybe the plumbing or the electrical are not up to date, we do have partnership with Western Financial Group. They can help insure anything that AllState can't do. And for all your fur babies, we have pet insurance as well. So we can make sure that your entire family is protected, not just from the people and your belongings, but also your animals as well. So that was my small presentation on home insurance. If you want to reach out to me, you can email me anytime, and my phone number and my direct line are on the screen. I'd be more than happy to help or give a quote or even just assist anybody that is looking for a second opinion on their current insurance, or when you're looking to buy a home, you can also get quotes ahead of time just to get yourself a better idea of how much you'll be going in every month for your monthly payments. So that's my presentation, Alex. Thanks for having me. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, there are a few questions out here.
Okay.
So one was actually just from what you just finished talking about, and it was, can you talk a little bit more about the plumbing and electrical that you do not cover?
So knob and tube wiring. So it's mostly homes that were built prior, depending, 60s, 50s, older. If the plumbing wasn't updated, if it's still galvanized, galvanized plumbing, sorry, we're not gonna do. And for electrical, knob and tube wiring. So we want a copper wiring for electrical. Copper and aluminum will also do if it's a combination of both. Anything other than that, it'll be a little bit more difficult. We'll need a full plumbing, full electrical inspection, and we will require the inspection that the client will pay for and provide that documentation. So yeah, that's pretty
So
much
if
it.
it has galvanized plumbing, as an example, um, what are your recommendations? Do you have a place that you send them? Is that your other partner that you were talking about?
Exactly, yes. So at that point, if there's no plan on getting anything updated, or if that's just how the home is, then yes, we would refer to Western Financial Group. You're going to be paying a premium because the risk is higher because your plumbing isn't as new or as updated, but there'll be somewhere that you can get insured.
Okay. The next question was, when you were talking about condos, you were kind of mentioning a little bit about assessments. Now, is there an additional coverage to cover all special assessments or just ones that are for total condo premium payments?
So I understand your question. It's only for total condo premium payments. So if if your condo board decides to repaint the entire inside of the building and they want everybody to pay their share, there's no coverage for that. It's really just insured perils only, something catastrophic, something that the insurance company of the condo board is also, like the condo corporation has an insured peril. If it's not an insured peril through the condo corporation under their insurance company, Allstate's not going to cover it. So it has to be insured through them for us to cover the loss. So if, again, if it's not covered through a condo, Allstate's not going to do it.
Okay. Last one, or I guess these kind of go together. Does Allstate insurance cover entire apartment buildings? And then number two to that, what's the maximum number of properties that can be insured through Allstate
Through
for
Allstate?
one policyholder?
Okay. Answer is the same for both. It's 6. So no more
Okay.
than 6. So your home, and 5 other homes or 5 other units.
Okay.
Um, is the guideline. Case by case, of course, but it's when it goes to more than 6 properties, then you fall into a commercial realm, and then again, we would refer you to commercial partners to take care of that. So, but for all intents and purposes, 6 properties is the max.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's all the questions we had, and we're kind of
perfect.
running. We're just coming up to just past 9:30 here, so
Okay.
that's perfect. I'm going to ask you one more time, though. Just let everyone know how to best get a hold of. Oh, and because we are an Alberta brokerage and we have offices in Calgary and Lethbridge, are
Mm-hmm.
you able to help people across Alberta, or are you just Edmonton specific?
No, I can help people throughout Alberta. Um, Not licensed outside of Alberta, but just because I'm in Edmonton, I can help you in Fort McMurray, in Calgary, more south. I mean, anywhere rurally, it doesn't matter. Um, all our agents are licensed to help you anywhere. So, yeah, if you want to deal with any brokerage, any office, feel free. If it's easier to deal closer to you, then do that. But there's no restrictions.
Cool.
So
Well,
we're
then
okay.
tell everyone your contact information one last time, just so they
Sure.
know how to get a hold of you.
Sure. So my contact information, you can obviously find me on Facebook. Just search my name, Veronique Sivret or Veronique, and you'll find my little AllState page. You can reach out through me that way. You can send me an email at vsivret@allstate.ca, and you can reach me directly at my phone line 780-643-4720 and my personal extension 5020. I'd be more than happy to talk to any of you if you're just looking for that second opinion or looking to buy a new home.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Alex.
Yeah, have a great day. See
You
you.
too.
And thank you
Bye.
everyone for watching, and thank you for your wonderful questions. But yes, contact Veronique if you have any questions about your home insurance policy or looking at getting a new quote yourself. Okay, see you
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.